What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Monday NBA edition of my DFS podcast. We have 12 games on this main slate tonight. Plenty of action to look forward to. Most of the games are early. There's one game at 9 o'clock Eastern, but that's it. I prefer that. I don't like being on the East Coast, the 10 o'clock games. Tough to stay up for, but as I tweeted earlier, I'm doing a free Guru credit code in this video after the first couple of my plays. So just like this video and subscribe to help support me. I do appreciate all of you guys who always come into these videos. We already have some, serious value on this slate. A couple of injuries moving around. We had SGA for the Thunder out, and now he's questionable and at shoot around. So per usual, NBA news being wonky and, untrustworthy. But we'll get right into things here. We had a good NBA day yesterday on Sunday. The cash and hybrid teams did very well. Looking to sweep the board tonight with this 12-game slate. So for point guard, we have Jamal Murray out for the Nuggets. So it's a pretty easy lock-in play here at 4,200. Reggie Jackson should slide into the starting lineup in place of Jamal Murray and obviously see a lot of extra opportunities. He started the second half last game with Murray going down, and it's no coincidence that he ended up seeing 25 minutes. We can expect him for 28 to 32 minutes. He's going to play like a true starting point guard tonight. He's actually been playing pretty well behind Jamal Murray off the bench, so the Nuggets should have no issue trusting him in this role tonight. The pressure's off. He's playing next to Jokic. Obviously, everyone's going to still focus on him. So Reggie Jackson should still get his open shots. I like this play at 4,200. He needs 21 fantasy points. He looks like one of the best value plays on the board tonight. He's going to be extremely popular on this slate. Shooting guard, let's go back to Klay Thompson. I've picked Klay Thompson the past 3 or 4 slates now. He's just too cheap. He hasn't been playing that well, but, he's playing every game. He's playing on back-to-backs. He was out for one game, I think. Playing, 30 to 32 minutes. 5,400 is too cheap. It's a good matchup against the Pistons. It's not really a blowout risk on the road. I think they're 7.5 point favorites, so maybe a little bit of a blowout risk, but he needs 27 fantasy points to hit value. He's averaging 25. He's had, 22 fantasy point games in the last 2. Cleveland isn't exactly a great matchup, but I'm going to play Klay Thompson when he's this cheap. I really don't mind it. You can expect him 15 to 20 points and run into some rebounds and assists and maybe a block and a steal. He projects pretty well tonight. I like him at this price for cash games. For my Guru credit code, go over to my website. You have to be signed in. These credits get you all lineups and picks that I post. It's a universal currency. Again, like this video. Please, I try to do as many giveaways as possible. Go over to the shop page. You must be signed into your account. If you don't have an account, it takes 30 seconds to confirm an email. No credit card required. Go to the coupon bar and type in all caps November 6, the date. And as soon as you hit apply coupon, it'll say coupon successfully applied, and those credits will automatically go into your balance. Try to do giveaways as much as possible, like I said, and I appreciate you guys for supporting my videos. Small forward, this is subject to change. Again, I do these videos early in the day, so with the craziness of NBA news, especially with 24 teams playing, a lot of things can happen from the early afternoon up until the evening. So we have Derek White, who was out for personal issues. I just got an update on my phone that he's absent from shoot-around today, so now it looks like a serious thing that he could be out where, guys like Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday would look good again. We now have Keldon Johnson questionable for the Spurs, I see on my phone. But at small forward, I like Mikal Bridges right now at 7,600. The Nets should stay in this game at home against the Bucks. The Bucks defense hasn't looked good this year. The Bucks offense hasn't looked good. They haven't looked good in general with Damian Lillard. But I like Bridges at 7,600. He had been 7,800, so he dropped a little bit. He needs 37 points to hit value. He's done that in 4 out of the 6 games this year. He has 50-point upside. If he gets hot, he's going to play, in a somewhat close game, he's going to play 35 to 37 minutes. This is a pretty nice spot for Bridges. We saw at times last year when he was like $8,500, $9,000. So he's still the number one guy on this Nets team, coming over from Phoenix, really getting out of his shell and showing his true potential. I like Mikal Bridges. He can play 2 positions on FanDuel tonight, which is always a positive. Power forward, let's go to Aaron Gordon, 6,000, nice and cheap. I'm not sure how much Michael Porter is, but he's kind of the same deal, 6,300. He's had a couple of good games too, 41, 44. Gordon and Porter are in the same spot tonight. You could even put both of them on a team. The Nuggets are -6 at home against the Pelicans, which is nice because, blowout risk is pretty minimal with a 6-point spread. A lot of the Nuggets look great tonight with no Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter have back-to-back 40-plus point games each at their salaries tonight. They need just 30 to hit value. So if this game stays close, we can project both of them to see, 32 to 35 minutes, and they are fantasy point per minute kind of guys. Aaron Gordon had dropped a little bit because he had a bad game here against the Timberwolves. I'm not sure why he played 18 minutes. I'm assuming there was a blowout one way or the other. But other than that, he's been good. He's going to get you high 20s to 40 fantasy points. 6,000, he makes for an awesome value play. Him and Reggie Jackson from the Nuggets tonight, they're going to be high owned. But in cash games, you're going to want these guys. Again, with no Jamal Murray, there's extra usage going around. Not that Aaron Gordon really needs it. He does a pretty good job playing next to the best player in the NBA, in Nikola Jokic. So I like Gordon here at 6,000. You can't have too many Nuggets, though. If you're picking Porter, Gordon, and Reggie Jackson, I'd stay away from Jokic. If you want to get Jokic in on a GPP, because that's always viable, you want to, get a little bit less exposure to the rest of the Nuggets because it's going to be tough for all of them to go off. They definitely could because they're going to play, 30-plus minutes. The Pelicans' defense is not good, and it's a pretty decent over-under. So Aaron Gordon looks great at power forward at 6,000. And then for center, just for sheer fun purposes here because he's the most exciting player in the league right now, Victor Wembanyama. His price is pretty adjusted at $8,500, but he's a GPP play tonight. I don't know about cash games, but I'm going to get to him one way or the other. His upside has been shown over the last couple of games. Through the first few games, even the second game, he got 51, but he has 3 games. Half of his games so far this year, he has 50-plus fantasy points, showing that he can stretch out that upside to 60 fantasy points, coming off of back-to-back great games. That game at Phoenix was impressive. 34 minutes, they ended up getting the win on the road. They were pretty big underdogs. 8,500, he needs like 42 fantasy points to hit value. He's been averaging that on the year. 5 blocks last night. He's really starting to get comfortable out there, which is, real dangerous for the rest of this league. Saw 37 minutes last night. I think that went into overtime though. So he was on pace to play 32 minutes. I don't know if Popovich is going to worry about back-to-backs. Wembanyama's 19 years old, or maybe he's 20 now, but I don't think we have to worry about any limitations to him tonight on a back-to-back, but his upside is there. The matchup is unbelievable in India. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. In Indiana, this has the highest over/under on the slate. It's at 239. The Spurs are plus 8.5, so there's a little bit of a blowout risk, but the Spurs look good. They, just beat the Suns at home. Now, like I mentioned earlier, Keldon Johnson is questionable, so that could hurt. But I do like Wembanyama as an upside play. There is some risk here at that price. But he can play power forward and center, so he looks pretty good tonight for tournaments at least. You could even maybe get him in your cash game lineups depending on how much salary you have to spend. that'll do it for this video, guys. Make sure you put in that code November 6th in my site. Get those credits. And let's have a great night tonight. We have Monday Night Football as well, coming off of a good primetime game last night. And just like this video, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with another NBA video. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.